The real challenge here is, can I get through this entire vlog clip without coughing at everything? It's Monday, it's just got about 9:30 in the evening, and we have been given the first act for Fablen. So you need to actually get into the library first and foremost, and there's two ways that you can do that. You can either hack down the vines that are growing around the building, so you want to read a book that has something sharp on the cover, or you can get through an open window and you can read a book that has a window on the cover. And that's what I'm going to go with, because that's the one that's going to fit my TBR the best. That's going to fit the books that I have at my disposal the best. So I'm going to go with one that might shoot me in the foot, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. And that is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. You can see there are like 3 or 4 different windows in here. There are little windows through the doors. I think we're covered. I say that I'm scared because there's a couple of people that I know who haven't loved this. My friend Lily thought that it was fine. I think she gave it like 3 stars. I think Brittany, who is another co-host on the Golden Runes, she also only gave it about 3 stars, I think. Also, this has literally arrived maybe about 2 days ago, and it is like, it's iridescent. First of all, it is literally stunning. It also has the Fablen name right on the back of it. I'm going to use this solely as my bookmark for the entirety of October. So there isn't going to be any time where I'm going to be doing the, oh, what bookmark do I have that matches the cover of this? No, we're going with the Fablen bookmark for the entire thing, because it just feels right. I can't even start this yet. I cannot start this for another 2.5 hours. So I'm just going to be leaving it here to the side until it's time to go. Myself in this little spot here just felt like giving you a bit of an update on what's going on. It's October 2nd and I'm finished with the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and this book truly does exist. I knew going into it that this wasn't going to be Pulitzer Prize type stuff. It's fine. It kind of does what you need it to do. It's very much brain off, just pay attention to the book kind of a thing. I listened to it while I was playing Stardew Valley yesterday evening. I just listened to it while I was cleaning up after dinner. I didn't really need to concentrate on it a lot. There are a couple of things that I didn't really love about this book. It seems like it's kind of a piss take on the genre, and it seems like it's more satirical than it is realistic. It's fine. As I said, it kind of passed a couple of hours. It's a good book if you want to have like brain off type vibes. But now that I've gotten in through the window, I'm going to have to do one of the side quests to kind of tide me over. So the side quests for this act are open until midnight on the 3rd of October, which is 6 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of October for me. So do I have a book that I can kind of bash out in about a day and a half that fits any of those prompts? And it wants to be kind of a short-ish one. Let me take a look. I think I found something. I'm going to go with Overshare by Charlotte Frears. This is a collection of poems. I think it's about maybe 3 or 4 years old by now. I am friends with Cher, and I've had this collection for ages. And I have read it before, back when it first came out, but I haven't read it since then. And I feel like this is going to be a really good, really short book that's going to get me a little bit of extra points. It's definitely written by an LGBT author, so it'll get, I think it's about 200 points extra for that one. Overshare was written by Cher when she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it was basically a way for her to get all of her thoughts out and make sense of her diagnosis. And when it was sold, all of the profits went to CAM, which is a mental health charity in the UK. So I'm really interested to get back into this one. It has been such a long time that I've kind of forgotten what most of the poems in here are. But I have a feeling that they're going to hit hard, because the dedication already hits hard. Let me tell you what it says. To every person who hurt me and every person who supported me, without all of whom this would not be possible, and to bipolar disorder for making my life 10 times more complicated than my bad decisions. just dropped Act 2, and there are a couple of things that you need to take care of here, because this is slightly more complicated than Act 1. So, first thing that you have to do is get to the main hole. And there are 3 ways that you can do that. You're going to need to read a book that is done in one sitting, and it needs to be over 200 pages for it to count. You need to read a book that has an element of weather somewhere on the cover or in the title. And you also need to read a book that has a heist or theft in there somewhere. And I don't think I'm going to do this one, and I'm not going to do the book in one sitting. I just don't have the time. With everything that I've got going on this weekend for the next couple of days, I don't have the time to sit down and read an entire book in one chunk. I also don't think I have any books that have a heist or that have a theft in there somewhere. But I do have a book that has got a weather element on there. So for this one, I'm going to go with The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sandhu Mangana. This is definitely going to hit my gnome bonus because it has got more than 4 words in the title. I think this is a backlist book. I'm going to double check before I submit it, but I think this is a backlist one. And it also has the word secret in there, so it's going to hit the charlatan bonus. It's got a couple of like swirling winds and it's got some clouds on there, which I would think is a weather element. I'm going to count it because if somebody else counted a cloud, I wouldn't be too upset that they did that. And that is the kind of rule that we're going for. If you'd be upset that somebody on a different team did that, then don't do it yourself. But I'm okay with the clouds, I'm okay with the wind. And then let's see where we're going to go for the second part of the act. Because once you've gotten through the main hole, you either need to go to the study or you need to go to the main stacks of the library. I don't know which one of them I'm going to go for yet. I haven't even looked at the 2 prompts for that. I haven't looked at the videos. I haven't read anything up because I need to just concentrate on getting my hair is a mess, I know. I had a relatively busy weekend, but I did manage to get some reading done. I got some reading done while I was cooking and while I was cleaning up the house a little bit, and I'm at 40% of The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I am having such a good time with this. I knew that it was going to be a really gentle, cozy vibe, the exact kind of thing that I needed for October, but I didn't know just how much I was going to fall in love with this book. I absolutely love how Mika is really trying to put herself in with these 3 little girls, that she is kind of showing how to care for their magic and how to harness their powers, but also how to control them and how to use them in a better way. I'm so into this. I also really enjoy the grumpy sunshine vibe between her and Jamie the librarian. I have just gotten to a stage where I'm finding out that Jamie has got a secret or has got something about him that has been hidden away from Mika, but the rest of Nowhere House all know about it. I'm intrigued to find out what that is. I have no concept of what it could be, but I am very intrigued. The only thing that I have a little bit of worry about is Jamie's accent on the audiobook. Jamie is canonically written as somebody from Belfast, but he has got the accent of somebody who is from the Republic of Ireland. It's a minor gripe. It's something that I can just get over. Something else that I really love, though, to kind of end it on a higher note, is Terracotta's complete obsession with killing off Mika, but also telling her how she's going to do it. Like, she will ask her, do you want to be poisoned or do you want to be shot? And I just think that is so goddamn funny that like a 10-year-old is plotting a murder in such an interesting fashion. I also made a discovery throughout the weekend, though. I miscalculated. I thought that when you had gotten past the main lobby, you could either do the main stacks or the study. It turns out you have to do both. So my plan for just getting through the main stacks, screwed. I need to look at the study room now and figure out if I have any books that are going to fit into that. So I'm going to finish off the Very Secret Society today, hopefully. And then when I am finished, we're going to come back, we're going to reconvene, and I'm going to see what it is that I happen to fit into any of the other two prompts, whatever those prompts are. The knitting is back out. It's very, very late on Monday evening. It's about 11:10 and I'm about to go to bed, but I am finished with the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I listened to a good chunk of it during my workday, and then I listened to the rest of it while I was out on my walk. There was a big reveal about 60-70% of the way through the book that I didn't expect to have come at all. And I didn't really enjoy the fallout of that. Then there was another slightly bigger reveal about 85% of the way through the book. And I really should have seen that one coming. I really should have put the pieces of that one together. But once it kind of clicked for me, and it only really clicked about 10 seconds before it was confirmed to me on the audiobook, it made so much sense. And it really made sense that that was the direction that this book was going to go. But I have had such a good time with it. I've genuinely loved this book. I would put myself on the line to say that this is going to be my book of October, and we're only just shy of 8 days into the month. Where am I going to go for the next one? I have absolutely zero idea. Let's go and figure that out, shall we? I think I'm going to go for the stacks first. I've got my tablet right in front of me so that I can have a look at what the prompts were. And I think I'm going to start with the stacks. And what I necessarily have for the stacks to get me through following the shadow, so something that has a shadow on the cover, is not necessarily going to get me a whole lot of bonus points, and it's not going to get me the cover bonus, but it is a book that is going to fit into the Buzzword-a-thon, and that is something that I really needed to concentrate on. I really hoped that this book was going to fit in for it. So we're going with The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. This is definitely 100% a shadow. And this book is really intriguing to me. I know that Kayla from Books and Lala has read this and she really enjoyed it. It is about a woman named Lauren who comes home from work one day and sees her husband sitting at the kitchen table, which is slightly concerning because Lauren's not married. She sends her husband up to the attic because there's a light bulb up there that has been swinging on and off for months. So she sends him up to have a look at it and to fix everything. And when he comes back down from the attic, he's a completely different person. So she realizes that her attic is basically like a revolving door of husbands. So if you're not happy with your life right now, can you just send your husband up to the attic and then you are gifted a new one instead? Intriguing concept. I want to see how it's going to be done. I am 8 chapters into The Husbands, and this is genuinely gripping me. I love a kind of a sliding doors narrative of, if I had gone down this path, how different would my life be? If I had done this, where would I be in life at this moment? Because I have had so many things happen in my life where I think, if I hadn't done this, but if I had done this instead, what would my life look like now? Where would I be living? Would I be working in a completely different job? Would I be working in a completely different sector? So the idea of every single time Lauren's husband goes up into the attic, comes down as a different person, and she's living a completely different life. There have been situations with the specific husbands where she's lost touch with some of her friends, or she's working in a completely different job, or the house looks different. She had this side table that she had thrifted from a thrift shop, and in one of her situations with her husbands, that side table is completely gone, but the rest of her living room looks exactly the same, right down to the same sofa. I love this book so far. I don't know what the whole magic is of how the different husbands are coming to be, but I'm so intrigued by this. And the cover says that there's 203 of them are going to come along. So does that mean I'm going to be meeting 203 different men? That's a lot of people to try and keep track of. But I've met about maybe 7 or 8 of them so far, and I definitely have my favorites of who I've enjoyed reading. I definitely have the ones that I wouldn't want to either be married to myself or to read from again. This is such an interesting concept for a book, and I knew that it was going to be an interesting concept when I went in. I am so glad that I found out about this book. I'm kind of annoyed with myself for how long it took me to pick it up. But that is kind of the story of my life, where I will pick up a book having bought it maybe 6 months, 12 months, 18 months previously, and it's been festering on my TBR for such a long time, and then I pick it up and I am hooked and I am in straight away. That's where I'm going with this. So as I said, this one is going to be for Shadow on the cover. As for the study room, you need to read a book that either has up, down, left, or right in the title, or you need to read a book that has wings on the cover, and it can be any kind of wing. Margaret has said that the only wings that are wrong are unseasoned chicken wings. I don't know if I have any books over there that have wings on them. There's probably books over there that have birds somewhere in them, but I don't know which one I'm going to go for. And if I keep motoring on at the speed that I'm motoring on at, I could be finished this within a day or two, which is good going because we have a deadline of the 12th for the side quests for this act. And I'm going to play that it might have something to do with the timing that we want here. What I also do know is that the encounter that you picked for the main stacks, which is the shadow on the cover one, is going to have an impact on a future part of the game. I know that there are so many things in D&D that is like, oh, if you've picked this one, this is what's going to happen. It feels like that is the perfect book to read for that prompt. If you pick this, this is the outcome. But if you don't pick this, then this is what's going to happen. And I feel like a book where the character is having that very thing happening to herself, perfect thing to do. That's how Act 1 and some of Act 2 has been going for Fablen. I'm going to pick up again in the next vlog. You're going to see what it is that I picked up for the study room. But do let me know which one of the encounters did you go for in Act 2. And if you'd love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then why not just leave me a wings emoji in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.